Hello my dear friends, welcome to Hauntra. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any exciting coming up videos. In 1985, journalist Clara McDowell arrived at Crestwood Manor, a dilapidated estate in rural England, to investigate rumors of hauntings. The manor was abandoned after a series of tragic deaths in the 1920s. As Clara crossed the overgrown driveway, the air turned heavy, and she noticed the windows staring back at her like dark eyes. Her editor, convinced of the manor's eerie history, had tasked her to stay 3 nights to uncover the truth. Local villagers warned her about a lady in white haunting the halls, but Clara dismissed it as superstition. Unlocking the grand oak door, a chill ran through her spine as the hinges groaned in protest. Inside, the foyer smelled of damp wood and decay, and the dim light from her lantern barely illuminated the room. A portrait of a stern woman hung over the fireplace, her piercing gaze following Clara's every move. She whispered to herself, "It's just a house," but deep down, she felt unwelcome. That night, she set up her recording equipment, ready to capture anything unusual. Clara's first night began uneventfully as she reviewed old newspaper clippings about the manor's tragic past. The most chilling article detailed the mysterious death of Lady Eleanor Crestwood, the last occupant, who allegedly drowned in her bathtub. As midnight approached, the house seemed to awaken. Floorboards creaked, and faint whispers echoed through the halls. Dismissing it as the wind, Clara continued working, but her lamp flickered violently. She heard a soft knock at the door behind her. Turning, she found no one, but the room felt colder. Suddenly, the typewriter she hadn't touched all evening began typing on its own, spelling the word leave. Her heart raced, and she slammed the typewriter shut. Sleep eluded her that night as she lay fully dressed, clutching her flashlight. The following morning, Clara explored the manor to shake off the previous night's terror. She entered the ballroom, its grand chandeliers now tarnished and cobwebbed, and gazed at the intricate murals on the ceiling. As she admired the artwork, a faint humming echoed through the room. Clara froze when she spotted a figure in the far corner. A woman in a flowing white gown with long, tangled hair, standing with her back turned. "Hello?" Clara called out, but the figure disappeared the moment she stepped closer. Searching the empty room, Clara tried convincing herself it was her imagination. Later, when she reviewed her camera footage, the woman in white appeared faintly in the corner, before fading away. Clara felt the grip of the manor tightening around her. Determined to explore more, Clara discovered a locked door at the end of the west wing. Its brass doorknob was cold and tarnished, and scratches surrounded the keyhole. None of the keys she found fit the lock, deepening the mystery. She asked the local historian, Mr. Hargrove, about the door. His face turned pale as he revealed it led to Lady Eleanor's private quarters, sealed since her death. He warned Clara never to open it, claiming it held unspeakable evil. That evening, as Clara passed the door, she heard faint sobbing from inside. She pressed her ear against it, her curiosity burning, but the sobbing ceased abruptly. Goosebumps prickled her skin as she hurried away, determined not to let fear control her. The next day, Clara found an ornate full-length mirror in the master bedroom. It was cracked, and the shards scattered on the floor reflected distorted images. She hesitated to approach it, feeling an odd pull. As she adjusted her camera to document the room, her reflection didn't match her movements. Her reflection turned to face her with hollow eyes and a chilling smile. Panicking, Clara threw a blanket over the mirror, breaking the spell. She spent the next hour trembling in the corner, her mind racing with questions. Who or what was mimicking her? Seeking answers, Clara visited the local pub to interview villagers about Crestwood Manor. The atmosphere grew tense when she mentioned the house. An elderly man warned her, "The manor takes what it wants. No one leaves unchanged." A younger man recounted a chilling story of a maid who went missing after entering Lady Eleanor's quarters. Another spoke of hearing screams on stormy nights. Despite their warnings, Clara remained skeptical, believing their tales were exaggerated. However, their fear was palpable, and she couldn't shake the sense of impending doom. As she left, the bartender whispered, "The lady doesn't forgive trespassers." Back at the manor, Clara heard giggles echoing down the hallway. Following the sound, she found a child's toy, a wooden horse, rocking by itself in an empty room. A chill swept over her as she spotted tiny footprints in the dust, leading toward the window. Peering outside, she saw nothing but the overgrown garden. Suddenly, a child's voice whispered, "Play with me." And she felt a cold hand brush against hers. Spinning around, she found the room empty, but the toy horse was now still. Clara fled to the safety of the foyer, shaken but determined to uncover the manor's secrets. That night, Clara lit candles to push back the oppressive darkness. Shadows danced on the walls, but one shadow moved independently, growing larger and more menacing. The temperature dropped as the shadow took on a humanoid form, its face featureless but terrifying. Clara grabbed her camera, but the shadow vanished the moment she pressed record. The room fell silent, save for her own rapid breathing. She whispered, "What do you want?" but received no reply. Exhausted and terrified, she vowed to leave the manor in the morning. While packing her belongings the next morning, Clara stumbled upon a hidden compartment in the study desk. Inside was a leather-bound journal belonging to Lady Eleanor. The entries grew increasingly erratic, detailing Eleanor's belief that a dark presence was watching her. The final entry read, "He's here. I can't escape." Clara felt a connection to the tormented woman, realizing they shared the same fears. The discovery reignited Clara's resolve to uncover the truth, despite her terror. Exploring further, Clara entered the master bathroom, where Lady Eleanor had died. The clawfoot tub was stained and cracked, its faucet dripping rhythmically. As Clara leaned closer, the water turned red, and a vision of Eleanor's lifeless body appeared. Eleanor's ghostly eyes opened suddenly, locking onto Clara with a look of pure despair. Clara stumbled back, snapping out of the vision as the water returned to clear. She fled the room, her heart pounding, but she felt Eleanor was trying to communicate. Clara discovered a hidden staircase leading to the manor's basement, a space not mentioned in any records. The air grew damp and foul as she descended, her flashlight flickering. In the corner, she found chains and a makeshift altar, stained with what looked like dried blood. Symbols etched into the walls suggested occult rituals. A wave of nausea hit Clara as she realized the Crestwood family had delved into dark practices. She felt a presence behind her and turned, but the basement was empty. The weight of the manor's dark history pressed down on her. That night, Clara awoke unable to move, her body paralyzed under an unseen weight. A deep voice echoed in her mind, commanding her to join us. Her vision blurred as the room darkened, and she felt her spirit being pulled from her body. Summoning every ounce of strength, she whispered, "No," breaking the spell. The presence retreated, leaving Clara gasping for air. She realized she was no longer just an observer. The manor wanted her soul. Desperate for answers, Clara called out to the lady in white, demanding to know the truth. The ghost appeared, her face a mix of sorrow and rage. She revealed that the dark entity in the manor was summoned by her husband, who sought immortality. The rituals backfired, cursing the manor and trapping Eleanor's soul. "You must destroy it," Eleanor pleaded, her translucent form trembling. Before Clara could ask how, Eleanor vanished, leaving her alone with the overwhelming responsibility. Clara decided to end the manor's curse by setting it ablaze. Pouring gasoline throughout the house, she lit a match and watched the flames consume the cursed walls. Screams echoed as shadowy figures writhed in the fire, the dark entity fighting to survive. Eleanor's ghost appeared one last time, smiling faintly before fading into the light. As the fire roared, Clara felt the weight lift, the oppressive energy dissipating. She stood outside, watching the manor collapse, knowing she had freed its tormented souls. Months later, Clara published her article, revealing the tragic history and her harrowing experience at Crestwood Manor. The villagers thanked her for ending the curse, and the land was left untouched as a memorial. Clara couldn't escape the memories, often waking from dreams of Eleanor's plea. She knew she had done the right thing, but the manor's darkness would haunt her forever. Her story became a sensation, but Clara kept one secret to herself. She still heard whispers in the quiet of the night. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for more new videos.